Everyone believed that in a short period of time they would destroy Russia, disintegrate it. And the European piglets immediately joined this work of the previous American administration in hopes of benefiting from the disintegration of our country.
Vladimir Putin has shockingly branded British Prime Minister Keir Starmer as a little pig during his fiery and staunch rant against a roster of European leaders, unleashing personal insults that underscore deepening Kremlin fury toward the West. The Russian president forcefully called for Western leaders like UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer to be immediately removed from office through any means necessary, portraying them as dangerous obstacles to global peace and stability. Putin directly accused European leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, of actively conspiring to engineer Russia's total economic and political collapse purely so they could swoop in and profit immensely from its vast natural resources and weakened state. In another chilling and ominous announcement that sent shockwaves worldwide, Putin delivered a sinister World War III threat aimed squarely at the United Kingdom by touting his fearsome Oreshnik missile system as a game-changer. The Russian premier boldly claimed that Russia will swiftly deploy its brand-new, unstoppable, ballistic missile system in neighboring Belarus within a matter of days, positioning it as a direct challenge to NATO's eastern flank. Russia emphasized that this nuclear-capable ballistic weapon possesses the devastating speed and range to strike the British capital of London in just a mere 8 minutes, leaving virtually no time for defensive countermeasures or evacuation. The Ukrainian intelligence chief has starkly explained that even if the advanced Oreshnik missile is deployed strategically on Belarusian territory, it still represents an existential threat that demands urgent international vigilance and response.
This year, new submarines have joined the Navy, including the strategic missile carrier Prince Buzharsky, as well as 19 surface ships and vessels. Successful tests of the strategic cruise missile of unlimited range Oreshnik and the unmanned underwater apparatus Poseidon have been carried out. Due to the use of a nuclear power plant, these complexes will remain unique and one of a kind for a long time. They ensure strategic parity and global security positions for Russia for decades to come. We will continue to work on these complexes, refining, improving, and enhancing them, but they already exist. By the end of the year, the medium-range missile complex with the hypersonic missile Oreshnik will be on combat duty. Last November, its combat application was carried out for the first time.
The strategic location of Belarus offers Russia an unparalleled advantage, providing Oreshnik missiles with deep reach that can extend far into both vulnerable European territories and key Ukrainian regions, placing NATO heartlands within striking distance. Details surrounding the formidable Oreshnik missile system remain highly classified by the Kremlin. However, its potential operational range is estimated by experts to span anywhere from 1,000 to an astonishing 5,500 kilometers, making it a continental threat. This impressive range is more than sufficient to directly threaten major EU capitals, including the critical cities of Warsaw, Berlin, and potentially even distant Paris, putting Europe's political nerve centers under immediate jeopardy. Its provocative placement in Belarus would mark the very first deployment of such advanced intermediate-range weapons anywhere in Europe since the dramatic end of the Cold War era, reigniting fears of a new arms race on the continent. Russia's cutting-edge Oreshnik missile system can devastatingly hit these targeted countries in just a matter of minutes, delivering payloads with unprecedented speed that outpaces traditional defenses. United Kingdom, 19 minutes. Belgium, 14 minutes. Germany, 11 minutes. Poland, 8 minutes. A secret military base is reportedly under rapid construction near the southern outskirts of Minsk in Belarus, strategically positioned to house the fearsome Oreshnik weapon system just perilously close to NATO's vulnerable eastern borders, escalating regional tensions to new heights. This massive construction site sprawls across an enormous area approximately the size of 280 football pitches, designed to accommodate the missile infrastructure, support facilities, and security measures needed for operational deployment. Putin chillingly claimed that any designated target struck by the Oreshnik would be utterly incinerated in a hellish inferno, unleashing an unimaginable temperature of 4,000 degrees Celsius that vaporizes everything in its path with devastating thermobaric force. The Ukrainian intelligence chief has grimly explained that even if the advanced Oreshnik missile is deployed on Belarusian territory under Moscow's control, it still poses an immediate and existential threat to Ukraine and the broader region that cannot be ignored. Oreshnik said, and I quote, "Russia and Belarus are building military facilities for the launcher, surveillance systems and communications, all components of the Oreshnik system. However, as of now, these efforts have not yet been completed. While Russia may physically place a launcher in Belarus to meet its end-of-year target, it would serve only as a dummy or mock-up unless the full infrastructure is completed. The deployment of the Oreshnik system in Belarus is a tool of pressure primarily on the EU and NATO, not Ukraine. This move will allow Russia to boost its ability to launch a surprise strike on the capital of any European country, and significantly reduce missile flight time compared to launches from the Kapustin Yar range." Unquote. At an scorching 4,000 degrees Celsius upon impact, the Oreshnik missile generates heat intense enough to completely vaporize reinforced concrete structures, which serve as a key foundational element in even the most hardened military fortifications and bunkers designed to withstand conventional assaults. Russian sources boldly claim that Oreshnik can destroy even the most robust and heavily armored military hardware imaginable, positioning it as an unstoppable force capable of obliterating tanks, aircraft, and defensive installations with unparalleled destructive power. Steel beams and other heavily reinforced materials would melt instantly under the missile's ferocious and unrelenting intense heat, reducing advanced infrastructure to molten slag in seconds during a single devastating strike. Putin's provocative and ominous remark came swiftly in response after the NATO chief issued a dire warning that Russia could potentially launch attacks against the bloc's member states within the next 5 years, heightening fears of broader European conflict. Amid ongoing and fragile peace talks aimed at resolving the Ukraine crisis, NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte declared with firm conviction that Ukraine's long-term security is inextricably linked to the broader security interests of the entire West, demanding unified resolve. Experts have noted that Russia appears visibly rattled and increasingly defensive over Europe's bold attempts to seize and utilize frozen Russian assets specifically to fund Ukraine's reconstruction and military defense efforts against Moscow's aggression. Recently, numerous key UK defense sites across the country were publicly identified and threatened as prime targets by the outspoken Russian Senator Dmitry Rogozin, signaling a dangerous escalation in rhetorical and potential military posturing.